Welcome, everybody. Thank you for joining, and we'll get started in a couple minutes. We're just 1 minute before the hour, so I'm just going to try to get as many people to log in, but thank you so much. If you would be so kind, in the chat box or Q&A box, just let me know that you could hear me, you could see me, that you're here, say hello. Looking forward to spending the next 45 minutes or so with you. Yay. Thank you, Laura. Hello, Jenny, Michael. Thank you so much for being here. I'm glad you could hear me. I always like to do a little check. So, Robert, thank you for joining. Good. I'm glad you could hear me clearly. Yay, yay, yay. We'll give it another 30 seconds before we begin. Paula, you're here. We have a membership, a long time PIHRA volunteer with us. So Paula, I'm not sure if I could unmute you, but if there is an opportunity and you want to share something, go ahead and share it in the chat box. But I'm glad you're here with us. Great. All right. All right, so let's begin. Just really some housekeeping really quickly. This is in a webinar platform. So I want to interact with you, and we're going to be doing a poll, and I'm going to be pausing a lot. But unfortunately, the majority of the time, we will be interacting through the Q&A box or through the chat box. So get your questions ready. Want to make sure this is interactive for you. Also, the PowerPoint slides that I'm sharing with you, we're going to get them out to you, within the hour afterwards. And this is about you. I want to make sure, and Elisette's here with me. She'll introduce herself in a second, but we want to make sure that you get the information you need today and that you get the most out of your membership. So if you are a PIHRA member, maybe you've been a PIHRA member for a while, maybe you've just become a PIHRA member through the California Employment Law update, but regardless, we want to make sure that we give you the information that you need to get the most out of the membership, because this is about your career and this is about HR. And, we did a quick look at our data, and we estimate that our members, HR professionals, and the other stakeholders we have in our community, you touch between 1.8 and 2.2 million individuals. So you are important, and I'm just passionate about helping people be successful and organizations be successful regardless. And I'll tell you a little bit about my background, but that's why I'm excited to be here with you today, because you impact so many people, and I want you to take that away so that you feel strength around that. I know this has been a really tough year. So anyway, just to recap, this is interactive. Chat with us. Send us your questions in the Q&A. Please respond to the poll that we have. The slides will be sent out to you in PDF form with some other great URLs that you might want quick access to based on what we hear from others and what you asked today. All right, so just to give you a general update, we've been in a pandemic since I've been working from home since probably mid-March. I told my boss, I'm like, I'm sorry, I think it was March 13th. I pulled my child out of school. She's 11. And I told my boss, who's the CEO of PIHRA, Rafael Rivera, I'm like, this is big. We need to really kind of tighten up right now. And he's very conscientious as well. And even before I said, we got to tighten this up, he was looking for disinfectant wipes and hand sanitizer and all that stuff. So but your health and the safety of our community is our top priority. We've been, particularly Rafael, has been on top of all the guidelines from the CDC, from the World Health Association, from our state and local officials. And we take this seriously, and all that information is guiding us to make decisions. So with that said, last year, our board decided, I believe back in July, that we would not have any face-to-face meetings through 2020, through the end of 2020. And right now it's looking like until the vaccine really starts hitting, which might be the fall time, we may, start looking at more hybrid events by that time. So fall 2021 is what we hope that will be a time where we'll be able to have our chapter monthly meetings and have more hybrid conference events and things like that. I do not think that webinars are going to go away now. It's just all too convenient. I know that we're likely not to go back to our PIHRA office. So we'll be primarily working from home. You guys in your offices might be seeing that. But what's exciting is that we really kind of hurdled those that change and started developing different networking platforms. And we have this great plan for 2020 in terms of the webinars that we're going to be hosting in collaboration with our 18 communities / chapters. And they're going to be super high impact. And they're going to be based on 11 learning tracks. And I don't remember all the learning tracks, but employment law, HR strategy, talent acquisition and retention. Those are the sorts of areas where we're going to be offering professional development. And so very excited about working with our chapters to do that on a different sort of platform. So we're not going to be using Zoom anymore. Some of you might have attended some of our webinars. We're going to be using a different platform where we'll be able to allow you to interact more, again, virtually, but so really excited about that. If you are in need in if you are in need of resources related to the pandemic, here is a URL for you. And there's also some additional resources that I'll get to in a moment, but that's kind of the update, which was a little long, but I wanted to share that with you. So who are our players? My name is Lily Arguello Liliana, if you want to call me by my full name. I'm the Director of Membership. Really quickly, I come from an organizational development background. So I did environmental scanning, assessments, strategic planning facilitations with we did structure studies, corporate culture studies, some management training, and I work with organizations ranging from Fortune 500 consumer products to small nonprofits. So I have a pretty wide range. I actually went from consulting in the HR area to the nonprofit area and started working in some media management, and landed at the Girl Scouts of Greater LA doing membership. Really through partnerships and really focusing on expanding the Girl Scout leadership program in the inner city, lower income quartiles of Los Angeles County, Greater LA. And that's when my boss, who I think you'll meet in a moment, he found me on LinkedIn, and he's like looking through his network, and we had a colleague in common, Stacy Gordon. And so she connected us. And so this is the perfect marriage between my HROD background and my membership nonprofit background. So I am delighted to be here. And earlier I said I'm passionate about helping organizations and individuals be successful. And that really stems from my OD background. Really quickly, Ellie Sett's here. She's on camera with us. She is my right hand. I'm going to let her introduce herself. So Ellie Sett, tell us about yourself.
Thanks, Lily. Hi, everyone. My name is Ellie Sett, and yes, I'm the membership coordinator here at PIHRA. Lily and I are a team of two, and we're delighted to be here. We're very passionate about what we do, and so I've been with PIHRA for almost 5 years, I think. 4 years, over 4 years for sure. And it's been great. It's been a great learning experience. We have a great team, which Lily is going to introduce in a while. But yes, feel free to chat with me via the chat box and the Q&A box. I'm going to be monitoring that. And also we're going to send out the handouts from the slide deck after the webinar. So no need to copy everything down. It is going to be available for you. So I'll pass it over to Lily.
Great. So Ellie Sett is likely to be the first person that you connect with if you call our office or if you send an email. I take a lot of pride in how we serve our members. So one of my expectations is that her or I respond to you within 24 hours if it's an email or a voicemail. The best way to get a hold of me personally is emails. Usually I'm pretty good at getting back to you pretty quickly. I'm monitoring that unless I'm out or something. So please, please reach out. I don't want you to sit there and be like, I'm really frustrated with with PIHRA and they're not getting back to me. And just email me at either membership@PIHRA.org or Lily, Lili, @PIHRA.org. Another important player on this slide, and I'll tell you why, not only is he awesome, Matthew Pallett is now our chair of the membership committee, and he has a role on the PIHRA board, but also because he's a volunteer leader. And so I think that's what PIHRA brings to the table. And a huge, I think, overlooked benefit is that this is a real low risk, high gain opportunity for you to hone your leadership skills through volunteerism. And that's how I connected with this job. So if you're looking for a job or your next great opportunity, or you just want to build the leadership skills or gain visibility in the HR community, volunteer. So that's the first message I'm going to send regarding volunteerism. But Matt, he is actually what I call in our world a service provider. So he's a natural partner to the HR community as I think he does workers' comp and insurance broker sort of work, and very knowledgeable, very accessible, and a great person to know. Well, the service providers, I don't want you to be scared. A lot of people are like, oh, they're going to try to sell to me. Well, when we bring on volunteer leaders that are service providers, it's pretty clear that what their role is to be a partner, to build relationships. And I feel like that's how they grow. And so he's a great person to get to know because it's his job to get to know HR everywhere. And so a lot of our service providers are the first to know about that HR director position that's out open in, Irvine or in downtown LA. So these are the people that you just want to get to know. And a lot of them are very friendly. I don't want to steer you the wrong way. Some might get a little aggressive on the sales side. If it bugs you, let me know, because maybe I can have our COO or our CEO have a conversation with them, or I could have a conversation with them. But usually they're great. These are the connectors. And if you have more questions about that, let me know. All right, so let's move forward. Let's see. Now, I said earlier that this is really about you. I'm 10 minutes into the webinar. We have 30 minutes remaining. So I want to figure out, what do you want to walk away from this webinar with? So yes, Lisette's going to launch a poll. So what are the top things that you want to walk away from? Is it you want to learn more about the chapters? Do you want to learn more about HR certification? Do you want to know, how is PIHRA and SHRM connected? Like, what's that relationship? Networking, you want to network, volunteerism. And so what I'll do is, I have a lot to cover today and I talk a lot, as you see, but I'll try to focus in on hitting those areas that are a priority for you. So let's give it another 15, 20 seconds. All right, I'm seeing lots of HR certification. That's great, because I just passed the test, so I could spend a little time there. Benefits, seminars. And if you have any specific questions, love to help with that. All right, did everyone more or less answer? We got 91 more. Person needs to take the little poll. Why don't we shut it down now? And let's see. All right, I think HR certification is number 1. Seminars is number 2. Monthly meetings is number 3. And we got chapters in there too. Benefits, yes, okay. Okay, you could stop sharing the results. And so what I'm hearing is you guys want to know definitely about HR certification. And so we could talk about that for sure. And I'll focus on that. A lot of you want to know about the seminars. Elisa, any specific questions out there?
Andrea said she wishes she could have selected multiple choices. So I offered to, if they do have other questions, put it in the chat and we'll also get to it.
Yes. Don't be shy. Put it in the chat. And just so you know, I might go a little over, but I want to respect our time. I'm with you till 12:45. I'll stay a little later if you have any questions. And then we could also, some of the questions, if I don't have an answer to, I'm not going to make it up. So I might have to investigate it for you and get back to you, or it might just be easier for us to take it offline and maybe schedule a time to chat. So, all right. Thank you so much. Love to hear you guys. So really quick, an overview. Why do we exist? We exist to engage, elevate, and serve the HR community in California. We do that through innovative programming, high impact networking opportunity, and providing you with the accessible, affordable, and actionable professional development that you need to boost your HR, to become an expert in your organization. We want you to continue to grow if that's what you want, or at least develop the skills that can make you feel confident in your role. And I know we just had a chat about the imposter syndrome. And so I don't know how many of you suffer from that. I do. And it was really crazy because I just passed the SHRM SCP test and I was like, really? I did that? But doing the professional development, taking the HR certification prep courses and the exams, sorry, I'm at home, so sure the ambulance is going to come by. That's going to help you boost your professional self-esteem and your personal self-esteem. So that's why we're here. We're here to give you those skills. Now I need to update this slide, but this give you a sense. I'm in the middle of doing that between a couple of other things, but this is who your cohort is, or your fellow members. Right now, we're because of the pandemic, we have seen this drop in membership. So right now we're right around 4,200 members, but I think the breakdown is going to be pretty much the same. 32% of our members are HR certified, either through HRCI or through SHRM. SHRM in 2015 started a certification program, and I will talk a little bit about that, but I want to get through this overview quickly first. Anything I should pause for, Elisa, so I can write down?
Yeah, we have a question. Do you know where I can find HR best practices? I maintain a vehicle fleet for employees and cell phones, and I'm looking for a way to monitor.
Yes. So, what I want you to look out for in this webinar is a place called PIHRA Workplace. It's an online tools kit where you may be able to, they may have forms and policies and things around fleets. And so I'll talk to you about that. Also, please connect with our community. We have, I think the best way to connect with our community to ask questions and see if they have any materials and best practices around fleet management is on our LinkedIn company page. And I think we have a slide that shows you where to access that. Our Facebook page is really active as well. We do have a PIHRA forum that is through our website, through PIHRA.org. I don't think it's as active as I would like. So I would definitely go to PIHRA Workplace, PIHRA LinkedIn group and page to ask if there's anyone that can share their best practices with you. And yeah. And then maybe go to the PIHRA forum. So yes, and I want you to network, because those are the sorts of questions. This is where you're going to build your, what I call your HR board of advisors. So you want to continue to network both internally and externally from your organization. So because you will meet people who have that, same responsibility, and they could share with you how they've managed that. So great question.
Yeah.
A little bit more about the profile. Anything else, Elisa?
Yes, one more question. What percentage of members have a graduate degree?
I do not have that in front of me. And I don't think I will have that handy for another couple of weeks, but I'm going to write that down. Great question. I'm writing it down. I do not have that in front of me, and I think it'll take me some digging to have that. So what I heard the question is, how many of our members with HR pros have a graduate degree, right?
Correct.
Yes. Okay. don't have that. What I do have is that 32% have an HR certification, and that's important to our membership. And I think it's important to you too. It's a great, for me, it was a great way to build my credibility and also empower me. And also there's some statistics out there that depending on the type of certification you obtain, you can make between $10,000 and $20,000 more a year. And a lot of employers are looking at that certification. It's preferred. A lot of the times you'll see in the skills and qualifications they're looking for that the HR certification is preferred. Right around 34% of our members are at the manager HR generalist level, and 33% are at the HR director and above level. I talked about service providers. They're right around 10% of our membership. And then we have these other categories. The top 3 industries represented by our members are manufacturing, consulting, and healthcare. Any other questions I should be on the lookout for?
Yes, we have one new question. Where do we get a list of service providers?
So we don't have a list per se of service providers. We have a PIHRA directory, which we will send you the URL for, and then you can kind of search for them in the PIHRA directory. We do not have a hard copy directory of service providers or members. However, if you email me because you have a certain type of provider that you're looking for, I could send you some of the ones that I know. I don't like to recommend any because, you know, I haven't used them personally, but that's kind of where that goes. Go to the PIHRA directory. Also, what I mentioned earlier, go to the PIHRA social media channels to ask, hey, has anyone used a provider for this? Any recommendations you have? That would be the route that I would take. Okay, so we have a very large footprint. We serve all the greater Los Angeles area and even started serving more members in the San Diego County area. Our largest, I'm not going to be able to see this very well, but our largest chapter is South OC. They usually, under normal circumstances, meet out of Irvine. I think it's actually Newport Beach, right on the Irvine-Newport Beach border. Our second largest chapter is PIHRA Los Angeles, and that's actually where we were founded. And I didn't mention this. We were founded in 1944 by a group of, I think I'm missing some slides. I think I condensed this for some reason now that I'm thinking about this. But we were established in 1944 by a group of personnel managers that were asking the question, what's the future of this profession? What sort of certifications do they need? What sort of education do they need? And so they established PIHRA, the Professionals in Industrial Relations Association. That was our name. So now we've evolved to Professionals in Human Resources Association. And I didn't see too many people interested in the PIHRA and SHRM relationship, but we are the largest SHRM affiliate in the country. And I actually believe it's in the world. So that's why this is a great place to be, because I think SHRM has more than 500 affiliates in the world, including China and India. But this is what we are, is the largest local community of HR professionals. So you're not going to have the access in any other chapter that you have here with other HR folks. And we do that through these 18 communities that we have. So any questions about the chapters or meetings, Elisa?
Not about the chapters, but I think we have a question about the membership types.
Okay.
Zora says, I am an HRM as well as I have a separate business separate business would qualify. That will qualify as a service provider. Can I do both?
Sure. So we have a lot of different membership types. You could be a general member, like that is if you are primarily a service provider. We also have a professional membership, and that is if you are in our geographic footprint here on this slide, you'll see that, and you are an HR practitioner. So it looks like, it doesn't really matter. A lot of people, wear different hats. We also have an at-large membership, and that is when you live outside of the geographic footprint. And the reason we do that is because when you live within this footprint, you have that ability to go to those face-to-face meetings once they open up. And so you have a lot more access. And when you're at large, you're not able, if you're like in St. Louis Obispo, for example, it's really difficult for you to go to one of our meetings, even though we have a place, we have a chapter in Ventura County, and we have a chapter in Antelope Valley and Santa Clarita. It's too long of a drive. So your first year is the same amount. So it's $150 to become a member. But when you renew, if you renew on time, it's less. So it's more deeply discounted at $75. So that's really the only differences. We also have a student membership and an in-transition membership. In-transition membership is very close. It works the same way as at large in terms of pricing. But if you're in transition, which for us, we define that as you're in between work, you are underemployed, you've been furloughed because of the pandemic. And what that makes you eligible for as well is discounted rates on our conferences and seminars and our monthly meetings. And right now our webinars are pretty much very low cost for everybody. And also that renewal rate is $75 for in transition. Students, you have to be full-time student working less than 20 hours, and that membership is $30 a year, and you have all of the same benefits. Last thing on this page, I know I'm going through this quickly, but as a PIHRA member, you can go to any chapter meeting once they begin. Right now, everything's virtual. So you have access to everything, regardless of where you're located in the world. So, and you could do it in your pajamas or from bed. But once we go back to normal and we have face-to-face meetings, just know that even if you belong, it's really, you select a preferred chapter. That chapter, for me, I live near downtown Los Angeles. My preferred chapter is PIHRA Los Angeles because it's close for me to attend. And but that doesn't mean I can't go to PIHRA Long Beach. They have lunch meetings. I'm a little bit more flexible at midday, so I like to go to the PIHRA Long Beach meetings. And actually, I was a PIHRA member before I was ever dreamed of being on staff, and that was my chapter, PIHRA Long Beach. So shout out to PIHRA Long Beach, and they have great lunch meetings. I'm going to move on because I feel like I'm taking a lot of time up front. On top of the 18 communities / chapters, we have 3 specialty groups. We have the PIHRA Foundation. They fundraise so they can provide scholarships. Sorry, I'm tripping on myself. So they provide scholarships. The 2 key scholarships they provide are for people who want to receive their HR certification. So basically, they will reimburse you for all the I forget exactly how much the reimbursement is, but once you pass, they'll reimburse you a certain amount. They also, if you're getting your HR degree, there's a scholarship for that. And I think there's some of the reimbursements or some of the awards are up to $3,000. We don't have a lot of people that apply for the scholarships. The next scholarship window will be in the spring. I think it usually opens up in February, March. So that should be coming up soon. And apply. You do not have to be a PIHRA member to apply. We also have Club PIHRA. I call this the fun side of HR. And this is directed to people who are responsible for the employee picnic, employee recognition, and they have quarterly meetings under normal circumstances. But right now they're doing a lot of HR Zoom chats to kind of keep up with the fun piece. So last, before I pause again, is PIHRA Emerging Affairs. I'm really proud of this group. They exist to engage, equip, and encourage people who want to enter HR, whether you're a student, whether you are a young professional, or you are looking to change careers and you're a not so young professional like me. And this is a great group. They have their own committee. All of these chapters and committees are quite autonomous and they have their own board. So back to the volunteerism, if you want to volunteer, you have pretty much, 19, 21, 23 choices to volunteer through these committees and make an impact in this community. So right now, PIHRA Emerging Leaders, they're doing a lot of webinars, and the last one was a mixer. So if you want to network and get to know people, this is a really low cost way, and I'll get to it in a moment, to just connect with people, ask questions, ask people if anyone else is managing a fleet, for example. Let's see, monthly meetings. I know that people were asking on the poll about monthly meetings. Right now, they're basically webinars because, as I mentioned, we're not able to do face-to-face meetings right now for a lot of different reasons, but primarily because the infection rate is so high right now. I don't see when that's happening until after the vaccination kind of comes into play. So, but you could attend any monthly meeting regardless of where you're located. They all have different topics. And by the way, a monthly meeting, this is what I skipped. A monthly meeting looks like this. So you check in, there's some networking, then everyone has a meal together and there's additional networking in the meal. And right around probably halfway through the meal or some way, there's also a professional development component. And this is where there's all kinds of topics that are being covered and you can receive HR recertification credit for. So there is a cost a lot of the times for our in-person meetings because they're usually held at a country club or at a hotel or at some meeting space. And then there's also breakfast involved. So I know people had questions about the monthly meetings. I hope I covered any questions you had about that. And then I'm going to move on to the benefits, unless there's something else that I was looking in the Q&A. Let's see.
Yeah, we received a couple of questions regarding resetting their password to log into PIHRA and accessing ThinkHR. So if anyone else has trouble with that, send us an email after the webinar and we'll definitely help you get access today.
Yes, Andrea, Kathy, if you have issues with that, membership@PIHRA.org. Do not hesitate. I do know that some people do have problems resetting their password. We will help you. If you are wondering, how do I get to ThinkHR? Don't wait. Just email us. I know that Elisette, if you could put on your to-do to start helping Andrea now reset her password. And I see Kathy wants to get into ThinkHR if that's possible. Maybe we could do that today for you, Kathy. Okay. And Bridget as well, any HR best practices, I would go to PIHRA Workplace too, and let us know via email or via the chat if you cannot access PIHRA Workplace through ThinkHR yet. So those are great places. And so that's a great segue because I think these are what I want to highlight, this PIHRA Workplace, because there's so much there. And in terms of value, the PIHRA Workplace has this PIHRA Live, which you see on your screen. Just that alone would cost you $1,200 to subscribe to that. It's an HR hotline. You could call them, I think it's from 6 a.m. in the morning, Pacific Coast time, to 5 p.m. in the afternoon. They're really responsive. When I've called, they answer my call right away. What they're going to do is they're going to ask for your name or company name to make sure that you are a PIHRA member. If they have any questions about your eligibility to log on, they'll refer you back to me and Elisette. So they'll say you'll need to talk to PIHRA. So just call us, send us an email. Email is best for me, and then we'll get you in there as soon as possible. There might have been some error on the back end when we tried to upload you. It is a separate platform. So yeah, that's what's happening. But me and Elisette can get you on pretty quickly. PIHRA Comply on that end, that is an online platform. It has an employee handbook builder. It has a job description builder. It has a wage analysis tool and some performance analysis tools. Plus, on top of that, it has hundreds of policy templates and memo templates and things like that. So that would be, for me, my first stop to see, like, for example, right now I had this is kind of morbid, but I'm gonna share it anyway. Right now during the pandemic, I had an HR practitioner say, do you have a checklist that I can use when an employee passes away? And I was like, okay. I went to Think HR. They sent me a great resource on what are the things that, as an HR practitioner, I need to make sure that I do for when an employee passes away. So that was my first place. I call them quickly, and it's just a great place to have a resource. It's safe, you know. Your boss comes to you with a dilemma in HR. I'd say, hold on, let me do some research. I'd call PIHRA Live. That would be my first stop. Then I'd go to PIHRA Comply and look in their database to see, what can I find in terms of policy? What can I find in terms of forms? And right now, like my boss asked me recently, I need some a work from home policy and agreement that I can issue to our staff. Great resources there. They were even better than our PEO, by the way. So I'll keep going. But right here, just in the Think HR platform, which we call the PIHRA Workplace, you have, I'm going to say right around $2,000 worth of value. So for $150, this is your ROI right here. I'm going to pause, and I'm just going to put this slide up on all the different things that the workplace has while I pause to see if there's any questions. Elisa, anything I should watch out for?
Yeah, we have one new question. I am a well-paid executive assistant and will likely join your LA chapter. I work in Santa Monica. And the question is, I would like to learn more and increase my skills. How should I begin?
First thing to do, and let me see, Laura. Webinars. A lot of our webinars, if you're a member, are free. That's how you start building your HR skill set and knowledge base. I think there's a webinar, and you're going to see some webinars. Hopefully I'll get to it. I'm running really late. I think there's a webinar that's free. There's a chat on what you need to know about your handbook in 2021. Get on that one. There's a free webinar. It's workplace investigations. Get on that one. That's how you're going to start building your knowledge base. And so when something comes up in your organization, you could say, hey, I can get that for you. If you're a member, a great way to start. I know a lot of businesses. My sister's business, she's executive director of a small nonprofit. They need to update their employee handbook. I guarantee you, you're going to win some brownie points at work if you refresh your employee handbook. And the employee handbook builder is really easy to use, and it includes policies and laws for all 50 states. So you guys all know that California has the strictest laws for employers, right? So go to the employee handbook. That's where you're going to begin. I hope that helps. And there's countless things to do, but start doing your professional development and start networking within the community. I'm going to talk about that in a bit. So here's a little bit here. I'm not going to go into this because I've already talked about it. You're going to get these slides. The one thing I'd like to mention is that the PIHRA Workplace platform also, for an additional cost, has an enterprise learning management system, an LMS. And basically what that allows you to do is to administer online courses for your employees. And it's really low cost given what it would cost. I mean, something like that would cost around $10,000. And so if you're interested in the LMS, let me know. But it does include the sexual harassment training for supervisors, and also the harassment training that I think all employees are now going to be required to take. And that will just cover you. And it has over 250 online courses, also courses for HR folks. This platform also has HR webinars. It has its own COVID resource page. So much there. It'll take me forever just to talk about it. PIHRA Live, I already talked about this. They will answer your questions and follow up with an email within 24 hours with any documentation that they feel will help you. I see something in the chat, Elisette. Should I pause?
Yeah, there's a question here regarding membership and in relation to the California Employment Law update next week. So if someone hasn't received their membership activated, it does take a couple of days because it's processed separately and manually by Lily and I. So I'll take a look at it today, Kathleen, and I'll activate it for you.
Yeah, I am so sorry. So when you became a member through the California Employment Law Update, and I'm so glad you did. That's going to be an awesome one. That is our flagship seminar, by the way, which I haven't gotten to yet. But that's where you're going to learn all about what's coming up in terms of legislation for employers. So we have members who have been going for over, I think that seminar is like 60 years old, Elisette, or something like that. Our conference is 30 years old. And I might have this mixed up, but the PIHRA legal update, which now we are calling PIHRA California Employment Law Update, is our flagship seminar. It's coming up next week. Really excited about it. So thank you so much for registering. But it is that bundle was purchased through the program module. Yeah, we don't have that much money to have it a totally integrated system. And so it does take a couple of days. So me and Elisa are feverishly trying to process all of those. Okay, another PIHRA benefit I'd like to highlight, because I know a lot of our members are in transition right now. They've been furloughed or they're looking to get out of the, I hope you don't mind me saying that, but sometimes it can be a nightmare in HR if you're not respected or treated well. So I want to empower you to look for that next great opportunity because you deserve it. And so we have this great partnership with Into Your Next Step, and it's this career transition platform. So if you have any questions about this, we do provide a 6-month license for members. So you have to be logged into your PIHRA.org account and then go to this URL. You're going to get this in the slides, but it has online workshops, how to build your resume, how to develop your elevator speech. It even has this great thing where you can record yourself answering interview questions. So you could see, what are you doing with your nonverbals? Are you saying too much like I do, or like too much like I do? Or how are you coming across? And now that everything's interviews, you're not going to face-to-face interviews, so it's all virtual. You can kind of look at yourself and see what are the things that you want to change up a little bit so that you come across professional and that you're answering the questions in a way that makes sense for the employers. I love this tool. Okay. And I only have 5 more minutes. Is there another question? I want to talk about HR certification too. So I'm going to move forward. Some people had a question about SHRM and the PIHRA membership. If you can have a dual membership, it just costs money, but I recommend having the SHRM membership and the PIHRA membership. And I'll tell you briefly why. SHRM's website and the cutting edge HR articles that come out of SHRM, we cannot compete. SHRM is in DC. They have a lot of employees that work just to put together and curate the sorts of HR knowledge that you need now. So I love SHRM because every day I think I get a SHRM newsletter that tells me what's happening today. How did the executive orders that Biden wrote out, how is that going to impact employers? That's why I like SHRM. What we bring to the table is that local community piece, the California employment law piece. So I think that, we're SHRM and PIHRA, we're like peanut butter and jelly. So we work really well together, and really, I really cherish that relationship that we have. So thank you guys. I told you at the beginning I was going to be late, so hopefully you can stay with me, but I do see some things in the chat. Should I pause for a second?
I've been answering them. They're just asking if the PIHRA workplace is included in the membership. So I'm confirming yes.
Yes, it's all included. It's all included. Yes. Okay, so let's talk about your professional development. I think it was Laura was asking about this. We have weekly webinars right now. Under normal circumstances, our 18 communities have monthly chapter meetings, which I described a little bit ago. As a PIHRA member, you can go to any chapter meeting that you like. I just recommend when that starts happening that you register in advance online so you can get the member rate, because if you just show up to, say for example, that your preferred chapter is PIHRA Long Beach, and you decide, I really want to go to this event that's happening in South OC, and you just show up, they may not be able to confirm that you're a member. So just register in advance for that, but you can go to any of them, and the topics are awesome, and you can receive recertification credits. Right now, webinars, they're all over the place. That's in our wheelhouse right now. Well, in my colleague's wheelhouse. And this is where I wanted to, the PIHRA legal update, I'm going to show you in a second, but I want to talk about HR certification. I just completed the exam, the SHRM SCP. I'm so proud of myself. We do PIHRA offers SHRM SCP and CP and HRCI, PHR, SPHR prep courses. Take the course. Choosing which certification to go after is a real personal choice. If you want to hear why I did it, we could talk offline, and why I chose the SHRM SCP, we could talk offline. But what I want to tell you is I'm not a great test taker. I took the prep course. I took 2 prep courses, because one I got a scholarship for, and one I got through, for my professional development at work, because I love PIHRA. They give us professional development. Elisa, usually her and I go to Florida, or we've gone up north for our professional development. So if your job is not paying for your professional development, look for another position, because they pay. So I got that through, but the reason my favorite instructor is Richard Dawson. We are scheduling those. I think this week they're going to get on our calendar, because he's real. Whether you're the brightest person, a great test taker or not, you have to study for these exams. I studied more than 150 hours. If anyone has any specific questions about the HR certification, we are going to give you some links on the email afterwards, and I'm at 12:45, so I'm so sorry. If you do have to leave, I understand. I'll send you the slides, and I'm accessible to you on a one-on-one basis if you have to leave. So I'm so sorry, but I'm staying. So HR certification, do it for yourself. And that's that. Any questions anything I didn't say that you wanted to hear?
We do have a question. Can you get PHR credit for taking an SPHR prep class?
Can you take, I don't know. Can you repeat the question?
Can you get PHR credit for taking a SPHR prep class?
I'm not sure. I would call HRCI to ask them. I know that they are offering credit if you have been working at doing projects around the pandemic. If you can explain what project you have completed related to COVID-19 in the workplace, they are giving credit for that. But I have not heard about credit if you take the SPHR prep class. I would call HRCI if I were you.
Yeah, I included their link on the chat.
Yeah. That's what I would do. Anything else?
No.
I hope to see you next week at the California Employment Law Update. We have some great speakers, attorneys, employment law attorneys that will be talking. We also will be talking a little bit more PIHRA. We have a session early in the morning about HR certification with Richard Dawson, who's the person that helped me pass. So if you want to hear more about HR certification, that'll be happening. But you do have to register right now. Registration is $149, I believe, for members. And if you want to bundle the membership, it's only an extra $100. So $249 if you are a non-member and want to register and become a member, or if you want to just renew, it's $249. But if you just want to do the day and the professional development, it's $149. So hope to see you there. Our chats, these are either very nominal fee, but keep networking. Just because we can't meet, it kind of frustrates me. It's like, don't isolate just because you can't meet people in person. I know Zoom fatigue, blah, 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 but keep networking. You never know who you're going to meet. You never know that you're going to hear something that kind of makes you click. So keep networking. We're doing these Zoom chats. The next page here is we have some coming up on the 4th. We have this webinar that I was telling you about the employee handbook. It's, I think, $10. It's really not that expensive. We have Antelope Valley's doing an HR lunchtime chat, and it's free for members. It's about framing the training piece, which is great. South Bay always has a happy hour and it's free for members. So you're going to get this in the slides. Where am I at? I'm at 3 minutes. I'm almost done. Any other final questions? What did I not get to? Okay.
I think we answered most of the questions that came in, but if anyone has any last minute questions, feel free to type it in in the next minute.
Yay. Thank you so much for being with me. You're going to get these in the slide. This is how you can connect with us and with our community on social media. So we have a LinkedIn PIHRA group and we have a company page. We're on Twitter, Facebook. Facebook is pretty active. So if you want to ask questions on Facebook, we have that PIHRA forum. This is how you can get onto the PIHRA forum. Just remember, you got to be logged in with your username and password to the PIHRA site. If you have any problems with your username, password, with getting on to ThinkHR, don't get frustrated that you can't get on. It is a little frustrating, I'll be honest, but me and Elisa can help you get on there and then it'll be easier for you the next time. Just save all your usernames and passwords. Let's see, anything in the chat that I can, thank you so much.
Yes.
Yes, hi.
What instructor? Oh no, I answered that.
Richard Dawson, yes, you gotta meet him. He's gonna be at the legal update too.
We have one. When is the EE handbook webinar?
Right here, Charles, it is on February 4th. So go to the PIHRA.org/calendar. Everything is listed on there, but I like to list them here just so you have it in front of you. Let's see, what else? Richard Dawson's great.
Yeah, I think that's it.
Thank you so much for joining us. I hope you got a lot out of this. Yeah. Anything else? I can hang out for a little bit. I'm only, 5 minutes past time. Yay, that's not bad.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you so much. Thank you for being members. Thank you for considering PIHRA. We're a family. So I know that sounds weird, but once you connect with us, especially face-to-face, when we can go back to face-to-face, you're gonna meet friends. Paula Cohen, who's on the call, and my dog wants to say hi. She met her best friend through PIHRA, Jenny Klein. So you never know. You never know who you're gonna meet. Thank you so much. I wish you all the best in 2021 in your career, and stay safe, and hopefully your pets won't get in the way for your next Zoom call like mine is. But have a wonderful day, and we're here for you if you need anything, okay? All right, thank you. And I'm going to adjourn the meeting. Have a great one. Take care. Sorry.